everyone. This is the Printer Gang. And for those who think the Printer Gang is just about the young people, you're wrong today because we've got some elders in the house. They will introduce themselves in a bit. But whenever we bring elders, it means that we're coming to speak wisdom. So I'll say, be ready. Be ready for this flight. We're about to take off. Today, we're going to be looking at sustaining your printing business. And these elders have actually sustained their business. So we're going to be learning from them. And I hope today is going to be a very, very interesting show. In the house, we have Pastor, I call him PTO, Pastor Tunde Obuhai. I'll allow him to introduce himself.
I think first of all, I'd like to say thank you for having me to Printer Gang show. It's a privilege. I'm not taking it for granted. And once again, my name is Tunde Obuhai, and like Akin said, from in his space, some other spaces, I'm called PTO. But I mean, Tunde is fine. Okay.
And then I'm going to be introducing my man. Whenever you speak to Mr. Femi Oluwalano, you never feel you're speaking to someone who is elderly. This is someone who comes to your level, and I've watched him over time. He can relate with anyone at any level. And this is one attribute that I actually appreciate, and I hope that, I don't know if it comes with age, sir. But let's get him to introduce himself.
My name is, like Akin said, my name is Femi Oluwalano. I'm really glad to be here as well on Printer Gang, and really appreciate what Akin and the team are doing in the industry. Well, I won't agree that I'm old, but I've spent about 32 years in this industry.
Yeah, wow.
And what I always just say is that we've made many mistakes, and the idea is to be able to share those mistakes, share the victories that we have, so that those who will come in will also be able to, will not have to make those mistakes. Thank you.
Yeah, your girl is balancing us out. Let's have her introduce herself.
Hi, my name is Mojisola Bashong. I'm so excited today. I'm going to learn a whole lot of things, and I'm sure you're ready to learn as well. Thank you.
Okay, so let's jump into the topic. It's sustaining your printing business. And growing a business, especially in Nigeria, and sustaining it requires a great deal of effort. And definitely, you need the right attitude, you need carefully selected strategy, you need a good product, and you need where to sell it. And of course, our guests in the house are going to be taking their shot on this, and then we take it up from there.
Once again, it's great to be here. I'm excited to be part of Printer Gang once again, and to speak on the subject of sustaining our print business. And we hear a lot that experience is the best teacher. What you don't have, you can offer. Today we can say that we've run businesses and we've gone through the various levels of businesses, and we can say we've successfully sustained a business. So we have one or two things to throw in that we think can help you if you really want to sustain your print business. I like that word, sustain your print business. I mean, there are three key words there: sustain, print, and business. Sustain is one thing we're going to look at, but when you talk about print, it's a profession.
That's right.
Yeah.
You're talking about business. And so a lot of people get into a profession and not get into the business of the profession.
Right.
And that's why it's not all printers that will be successful. Not all print professionals will be successful. Not all print business will be successful. That's the truth. Sustaining a print business requires that you do business the way business should be done. Mm-hmm. If you don't do business the way it should be done, there is no way. Business has a life cycle. You have the stage of the startup of the business, what you call the beginning of the business itself, and it proceeds to the growth stage, the mature stage, and the decline stage. Every business will go through that life cycle. And being able to navigate your business from the very beginning, from the startup to the stage, through those various stages, determines how you can sustain a business. Now, for me personally, I take interest in looking at issues the way they are. All right? And what it is what it is. If you're not doing it right, there's no way you can get it right. Somebody once said, you can't keep doing the same thing and expecting a different result. If you want the result is to sustain a business, there is a way you should do it. I believe that as we proceed, we'll be looking at how to those nitty.
Let's give you a shot, Mr. Olujare.
So, again, it's like PTO took some of the words from my mouth.
He always does that.
Especially because print in itself is technical.
Yeah.
And a lot of us folks that go into print are technical people. But so it's not unusual, for you to ask a print person, what are you doing, what you've done? And the print person's pride is to take you into his factory and show you all the machines. But the fact that you have machines does not necessarily translate to the fact that you have a good business. So one of the key things that, like PTO said, is for us to understand the business side of print. The other thing that I would also mention here, especially in this climate that we find ourselves, is that you need passion. If you are not passionate about it, I can assure you that within a short time, you would be out of business. The frustrations may actually just discourage you completely. So it's good that first of all, you have a passion for print. You're going to face many headaches. One of the things that, from my personal experience, one of the things that we all suffer from is not enough knowledge, not enough of the technical knowledge. So you're going to suffer. I remember a particular experience that we had. This was many, many years ago, where we printed cards for a client. And we allowed the cards to dry for about 5 or 6 days. But we didn't laminate the cards. And then we packed it for the client. The client traveled and comes back 4 weeks later and says, all the cards have sets onto each other. And that was one of the first times that we realized that it's not every ink that you can use for every card.
Right.
But the typical thing that happens is that our suppliers, they bring what moves the fastest. Yeah. Bring the paper that moves the fastest. And then you are left to your own, to deal with all the issues that arise. I'll just stop here there for now so that we can.
Okay. How a girl.
Yes, sustainability is about sustainability in any kind of business is about being informed. You just, like I said, okay, I'm here to learn. But before you go into any kind of business, you just have to understand what the business is all about. Like Mr. Olujare said, there must be passion first. You have this passion. With the passion, you want to learn every nitty-gritty of what the business entails. And as the environment changes with trend, you must be informed. You must follow the trend, follow what is happening within the space of the business you're doing so that you're not left behind. Because it's all about, to me, sustainability is about you satisfying your customer, you not doing your environment any damage, and you maximizing profits. So for you to put those 3 things key together, that means you need to be informed. Right.
So I agree with that. And also, it means that there must be some sound decision making.
Sure.
And a strong operational foundation. Yeah. And these things are basic to help us reduce risk. But PTO particularly, your 100th edition just came out. 100. 100 is not being so. Yes, I think we should clap to that. I think we should clap to that. 100 is
From
not
one
being.
to 100.
From 1, 2, 3, your 100th edition. That's some sustaining. Is your son, are you planning that your son will take over? Are you planning that, I don't know. So, I mean, for you to be able to sustain 100, we need to understand what is it that you are doing.
Okay.
Whatever you are doing is working. So, I mean, we need to know what you are doing.
Okay, I'm going to start from drawing from what, particularly what Femi was saying, in terms of passion and the 100th edition. Great work. In fact, when I didn't, sometimes you have to take a step back in time to actually know where you're coming from. Because I just imagine that there's no way you could get to 100 without having the first one.
Exactly.
And so every journey begins with the first step. And I haven't done 100 meters, 100 kilometers, 100 years. It's a whole lot of work. And I actually sat down and I began to reflect that passion is driven by vision.
Right, yeah.
It's driven by vision. You cannot be passionate about what you don't have a vision for. So talking about the 100th edition is just, and how we sustain it thus far, sir, is just about vision. You can't get into the print business because you want to get into print business. What is your vision?
Especially in an industry.
In an industry, it's so wide. You can't do it all. You must identify what you want to achieve when you go into your print business. When we came into this aspect of journalism. We print journalism. We were clear. I was clear. I knew, and I expressed it. And, Femi was there when we were unveiling the 100th edition. Edition. And I said it clearly. And I said, this is what we wanted to achieve. This is the vision. The vision was to give knowledge, like you said, to help printers to take proper buying decision, have proper knowledge about their business, their equipment. And this is a continuum. Because of the dynamism of life, knowledge keeps evolving. And so if you are bringing knowledge to people, then you're going to be there. It's a long-term vision. Changes are taking place on a daily basis, and people need to be informed with trends and what have you. And so with that vision, we continue to take it from one level to the other with passion, with determination. Yes, all manner of things would happen in the course of doing business, which is normal. And if you look at that, that business life cycle, you're going to get to a point where you are starting and you begin to grow, there's decline will come.
Exactly.
So what happens when you're declining? It's your vision that will drive you. And you can't be driving a car from one destination A to destination B without knowing where you're going to. No matter the hold up you see on the way, the challenges you face, that's where I'm going to. I have to get there. So you put all that you have, your passion, your determination, and above all, your intentionality to say, yes, we have to get this done and we'll move to that place. I think that's all that has helped us to get to where we are. There's no way. We have faced all manner of challenges. People have exited when we never expected them to exit. We've faced all manner of challenges in the industry. But trust me, those things would happen. And I say this, sorry, I'm a pastor. And I say this, God has not promised us smooth sailing, but He has promised us safe landing. So we landed at the 100th edition. Not that we didn't go through this. The sailing was smooth. No, it was using those challenges as stepping stone to move to our next level, and that brought us to where we are.
Waiting the 200th edition.
No, we definitely. You said something about my son. Yes, he's in the creative area. He's in the blood. Is Generation Z. That's what they call it. So it's very finicky. So very finicky with technology. In fact, that guy is between when we met on Wednesday, and he set up a company called an Edit King.
Edit King.
Yes. So he's crazy about editing things, and he set up a company called Edit King for all the work he did for us before he went back to South Africa. He gave us an invoice. If you see
that is a business.
So he designed his own invoice, and he asked me to convert. He did the invoice in Naira. He asked me to convert the invoice from naira to rand. And when it got to, in fact, yesterday he called me, have you transferred? So, I mean, I don't know. I think that what I'm trying to do with Printers Digest is to make it a business that should outlive me, not about my son.
That's what sustains.
That's sustaining a business. So it should outlive me. There are staff who are there. There are staff who will come in as we progress. And if I get to 90, how Jesus will stay at 90, and after 90, I go to be with the Lord, the business should continue.
Right. This is inspiring. Yeah. It's really inspiring. I mean, Alaka has also been. I said to him the other day that he is the secret of, every customer's little secret.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's been there for a while, and a lot of people would know him. Once they mention Expand Press, everyone knows. Yeah. And they don't want the other person to know, because that's where they go to do their real quality things and the things that are really time sensitive, So when a job is time sensitive, they know where to go to. When it's real quality, Pantone colors and all that, they know where to go to. And he's been everyone's little secret for a while. So I was saying to him the other day that you need to make a bit of noise. So how have you been able to sustain?
Yeah, so again, taking from what PTO, thank you, Akin, taking from what PTO has said, I think one of the key things for sustainability is, what is your strategy?
Right.
Yeah. Where have you chosen to play? And again, a lot of people, when they look at strategy, they look at strategy as in what are the things that we must do. But I think that a lot of times, strategy applies to the things that you choose not to do. So that you can focus, on some particular areas. So for example, for us, one of the things that we've done is focused on the high quality book production space. And everybody knows that, if you want to get, very high quality books,
they know where to go.
They know where to go, and the conundrum we always have too is that, like you said, they don't want the next person to know that they are printing with the Expand. In fact, I had had to, clash a bit with a client in the past, because this is a client from UK, and it was saying, produced in UK. I said, why will you put produced? I said, why will you put produced in UK on something that is that was done in Nigeria?
And we want to push Nigeria.
So I think that it's so key for us to be very strategic. Again, part of the reasons to do this is that when you focus, you can focus all your resources. I hear the average. I was discussing with a technical man, an engineer recently, and he says, this man has gone and bought a machine because other people have bought it. I said, is that enough strategy for you to decide to go to buy another machine because somebody else has bought the machine?
Yeah, but in this part of the world, we like the copycat thing. So what is the machine everyone is using?
That's why we're not sustaining business.
Yeah.
So I mean,
wasn't your vision?
Yes.
So why buy a piece of equipment that is going to be 20% capacity utilization, or buy a piece of equipment that you are going to use it just twice a year or thrice a year? So these are some of the questions that we really must, ask ourselves. And instead of being general, for example, I look at print finishing, for example. Instead of being general, why don't you focus on print finishing, for example?
Right, specialized.
And buying all the best equipment in print finishing. And everybody knows you for print finishing. You are more efficient than everybody else. And then you are able to be cheaper in terms of production than everybody else. It's a strategy. So these are the things. I think that this is very key for us. The other thing that we have to deal with in Nigeria, for example, I can't remember which of the droopers it was. There was in the main hall there was a machine, maybe a 10-color machine, costing about 4 million euros. It was going to a Brazilian print company. Now, that Brazilian print company, in order to get that machine, the Brazilian government guaranteed the loan.
Right.
And they had an MOU to produce whatever they were going to produce for the next 10 years.
Yeah, that's
In this
longevity.
In this client, you can almost not guarantee the next job. We know that that's what happens. You can almost not guarantee the fact that you are in this place. If they change the people that are there, there may just not be any guarantee. And so, the more reason why we must be very strategic and specific, and focus on niches. I mean, one of the things that I've always called for is focus on a niche area rather than being general. I just want to step down.
What you just said. You see, my challenge is that is our industry positioned to receive the things we're saying. I mean, you are going to throw them out there. And strategy, visioning, passion, all of that. Once you throw away those things, there is no way you can sustain a business. You can't get into book production because your neighbor is into book production. You must be clear what aspect, like Femi just said, you must be clear what aspect of book production. You must have a vision and build, having the right strategy, the type of equipment, the type of know-how you need, the type of resources, the location you need to put your business. Those things are very crucial. You know, but that's not what we're doing here. We're doing what I call an all-commerce thing. And because it's an all-commerce thing, you're going to have print businesses that are not sustained over a certain period of time. Some of them don't even go beyond the startup stage. Go to Shomolu, you have a lot of people having cord machines. Why must all of us have cord machines? Why can't we look for other machines to complement the cord? Even just for numbering, even for perforation, even for foiling. Just look at on a particular street in Shomolu where there are 10 cord machines. I just look at those cord machines. I look at it. I say, these guys must need numbering. These guys must need foiling. These guys must need perforation. And I get those machines.
One person would have differentiated
and be servicing those guys who have 10 cord machines. Instead, you know what I'll do? I look for money. I buy another cord machine. I do 11
and then I reduce my price.
I reduce my price. And I can be there folding my hands and say, no print jobs. Jobs are taking place.
But you reduce the price. Everyone
reducing the price until you reduce yourself out of the
business.
You know how many CTCPs are out there for sale now?
You know, one of the things I always tell clients, when we are speaking and when we are negotiating, I say one of the very terrible things about print is that you don't actually know what you are paying for until it is delivered.
Yeah, true.
Because it's one thing for whoever it is to, it's going to be fine, it's going to be fantastic. They say go and bring a proof. You go and print it on a digital production.
And then when it's time to print, you want to match it on the offset.
I remember one of the programs that I ran during COVID. That was one of the things I said. I said, see, if you're asking even for a digital proof, we'll spell it out there that the digital proof is just to give you an idea. It's different from the final thing. And so I tell everybody, I say, see, we can assure you, for us, we can assure you are very sure of the quality, you are sure of what you are getting. Anybody can say, we're going to do this, we're going to do this, and it gives you a price that, in quote, seems sweet at the beginning. And at the end of the process, you are ending up with something that you didn't bargain for. In fact, I remember this is many years ago, many years ago. I think this was in the 90s. This job was so bad. These guys did this job. It was so bad, it was an annual report. They made sure that they didn't deliver it until the AGM had started. Wow.
So you can't reject it.
So, they just brought
Me too.
it.
If you were declined, you would reject it. You will run the program without the program.
Sorry to take it from you. We need to change.
I agree.
We really need to change. I give you an instance. Look at B2B journals in the industry. How can you? A company is having a product launch and they approach me, get all the journals in the printing industry, approach all of them. Come, let's cover this event. And at the end of the event, we need to write editorials to publish. They don't have journalists to write it. They don't even have to write editorials. They have to defer to us to write editorials for them to publish them. I'm asking, why are you in business? Do you get what I'm saying?
Maybe that's their own strategy.
Their strategy?
Not.
Okay, fine. I don't have a problem with that if that's their strategy, but it was a source of concern for me that you can have a journal that is run by somebody who doesn't have the ability to write basic editorials. That's number one. No distribution channels, all right? And all you just wait for is to get these materials of clients and publish one or two publications and throw them and go to the client and say, this is the magazine, collect money for the advert, and now you're not even spending time and creating channels to ensure that the client who has advertised in your journal has value for
Value for money. Yeah.
So we must begin to learn how to create value. And like Moji said earlier, the customer is key. We must become more customer centric. So for us, what we try to do to sustain our business, there is no way you can't have a business without customers.
Exactly.
So people used to say that meet customers' need. No, today we want to surpass the expectation of our customers.
One funny thing is,
yes,
customer needs keep changing.
So you try to surpass their expectation.
That's the quote I was looking for from Aries Spear that says to sustain, you have to evolve.
You have to evolve.
So the customer is evolving, and you also have to evolve.
What print buyers are needing out there is changed over time. Today's print buyers are Generation Z.
Yeah.
There's something they want.
Yeah.
They want better quality.
Yeah. Have you noticed your son does not like the Ralph Lauren? They don't want the brand.
No, they want.
They don't want the brand. So so the brands now.
They just want to be different.
I don't want to mention the name of brand, but I know one brand that always puts a big logo.
Yeah.
I saw it that for the Gen Z, they now have very tiny logos. That's what the Gen Z is about. They don't care about your big names and all.
So we must, and in business, like Akin said, you need to evolve. And for you to sustain your business, you need to keep reinventing yourself across the life cycle of the business. Keep reinventing, keep changing. Changes. We're told that the only thing that is constant is what is change. And if you don't change, it will change you. And you get out of business. So when printers are saying, there are a lot of printers today that are not complaining that there are no print jobs. I'm telling you.
Oh yeah, sure. Definitely.
Whilst you go to Shomolu, you go to Mushin, you have printers that say there are no print jobs, there are no print jobs, there are printers.
But there are some that are business, lifestyle and trends.
Yes.
But once it's lifestyle and trend, it's always trend.
The other thing that I also want to just mention here, because it's something that maybe we don't look at all the time. And this is, you want to surpass all reasonable customer expectations. Because I mean I have a particular experience. I had chased this customer for about 4 years. 4 years trying to acquire this customer, and all of a sudden this customer comes and brings an impossible deadline. And at that time, I have an ongoing deadline and schedule to meet with another customer. And I tell this customer, if it's for this deadline, I know that I cannot meet the deadline. And this customer tells me that no printer has ever said no to her. And I said, but madam, what is the purpose of taking your job? Meanwhile, I knew the company that she prints with, and those guys disappoint them all the time, which was why they were looking for another person. I said, there's no point taking your job when I know that I cannot deliver in this timeline that you want. And she went away, very disappointed. But I said, look, we must have integrity. If we can deliver, we say we can deliver. If it's something that we can swing, yes, extra shifts and so on, yes, we can. But if you can't deliver, there's absolutely no. I said, I may not get your job, but my integrity is intact. I want to be able to take your job, and you call me, and I can take your call. I said, there's nobody who calls us, and we're not able to take
the call. And tell them what's happening.
Tell them. I think, one of the things that we must say, and I tell all our clients, printing is about communication.
Communication, yeah.
Does it sound like those who sustain their business have some level of truthfulness?
Sure.
Integrity.
Yeah. And in print business, we disappoint our customers so much that they're looking for another printer. And what they find is they move from one printer to another, it's all the same. That narrative must change. As we begin to build capacity, as we begin to say that let print jobs remain in Nigeria, we must do it on a platform of what? Of integrity.
So it means that we also need to train more people to behave right.
Yeah.
I think it's basic to act right, to be more transparent, stop being haphazard, promise what you can deliver. And then also, I believe that collaboration is key. It's not every job that you can handle. But be transparent with whoever you are collaborating with. We're getting this, we give you that, and then in return we get this from you. And they do these things abroad, and we see that companies that one generation to the next, four generation has been in a business. I'm not sure there is any print company that is on its fourth generation right now. In Nigeria, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. And if there's anyone out there, please let us know. We like to bring them on this show to learn from them.
Yeah. So just to even add, you mentioned collaboration.
Yes.
Collaboration may even just be as simple as and this is also where I know we are not talking about SIPON and the council today, but those are the areas where collaboration makes a whole lot of difference. You may actually have a customer who is printing with printer A, owes money with printer A, goes to printer B, owes money with printer B, moves to printer C. If everybody is upfront, this man is owing us, this company is owing us money. So the industry knows that, see, these guys are serial debtors.
But is it also our culture? Because I realize that in your area, we all know that this guy is a thief, but we don't speak up, because sometimes we need to name and shame.
It's part of our culture, but the truth, I don't know where we got it from.
I don't know.
Because that's not how my parents grew up. They're
supposed
growing up as a child in the village, I know that if you steal, they parade you on the street. But these days, we're so protective that we're not exposing those who are not practicing the business with a lot of integrity. And that is having a general negative impact. On the industry you present. I go to places, the president of SIPON knows that. We go to places to speak for the industry, and we get thrown at us. And sometimes you can't even defend that a printer will not be dishonest in this area. But I just want to appeal to our colleagues out there. Let's begin to change that narrative. Let's take those things out of us.
Sustaining the business.
Yes, we want to keep this. I love this business. We want to sustain it. We can get so much out of it. There's so much. Aki has written so many write-ups about the importance of this business, right from when you wake up to when you go to bed. You are doing one aspect of printing. Once we can take this issue of dishonesty, lack of proper values and integrity out of it, I'm telling you, we're going to be in real business. And I want to see printers begin to do so. That's my heart. And for me, if I've sustained my business up onto this level, it's because we hold forth to real values, integrity. Yes.
Today has been so wonderful. Business is not just about you relating with a customer. It has a lot to do with you as a person being intentional about what you want and how you want to go about it and what you want to deliver. So in all, we talked about your own value together with the economic value and the word value as a whole. When you're going into business, like what is discussed there, you just have to put your integrity in check. That's the first buying point any client wants to buy from you. So till next time, we'll say, peace out.
Thank you. Let's come to.
So,
Peter, we're coming to you last.
So in closing, I would just like to reflect on next gen. What's happening to the next gen, and how does the printing industry continue to attract even the best hands? Today, the world is a global village. COVID has accelerated us into virtual work. And so you have a lot of young people now doing UI, UX design, going into coding and earning phenomenal income from their homes in Nigeria. And so the question is, how does the printing industry begin to continue to retain people? Because whether you like it or not, you've invested $50,000, $100,000, 100,000 euros,
up to 1 million
euros on a piece of equipment. The folks that are going to run those processes have to have their heads screwed on right. We don't want the people who are frustrated, who don't have anything else to do, and for those to be the ones that remain in the industry. So we must begin to look for ways to attract the next generation.
We've brought them on the show many times, and they say that you guys don't understand them. One actually gave an example that anytime he's on his phone, he's the breadwinner. His father is late. He's the breadwinner in the house. He lives with his mom and siblings. He contributes a lot to how the house is kept, and he does so on his phone. And he's on his phone, and his mother is cursing him for being on his phone. And then he's wondering, I'm making the money from there. And you still can't see. So I think we need to calm down a little bit and understand this generation. We need to attract them a bit more. I think we're too hard on them. I think it's one generation that has been most misunderstood in all these generations. But I hope that one day we'll get there. PTO, sir, your closing shot. Throw the bomb.
Okay. I mean, you're putting me on the spot. But having said that, I have two strong things to say. And I want printers to hear this. It's definitely not going to be business as usual. That's the truth. And if we think we have if you have the mindset that we'll always be there forever, please, you're making a big mistake. I said something last week Wednesday. I said, we all knew about Nitel. I worked with Nitel. Nobody ever thought that Nitel would go extinct. But today,
what's Nitel?
You never even talk about that. Things are going to change. Things have begun to change already. All right? Printers, please begin to adapt to change, right? You can't keep doing business the way you've been doing it. Customers' expectations are changing. They are being influenced by Generation Z everywhere. And this business will remain, but it's not going to be the same. So you must get yourself knowledgeable, equip yourself to do business for the now and tomorrow. And that's the only way you can remain. And lastly, integrity will speak for you. Integrity will speak for you anywhere. Be a man of value. Somebody said about innovation. It says innovation is about reducing cost and increasing value. Increase the value of your business, increase your personal value, and that is what we hold forth for you going forward and the next dispensation. I'm excited to be part of what Print Tech Gang is doing. I know that we've not given space to stuff like this. You know, Aki knows where we're. I know where this can get to, and I truly want to be part of this process and taking this to be the next phase in printing in Nigeria. Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys. We'll see you next time. This is the Print Tech Gang, and from here we say bye for now. Bye.